Welcome to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Wilkins. I'm excited to have you join me as I speak with a fascinating collection of folks, all of whom have in common that they've made a way for themselves by finding an intersection between thoughtful consideration and the tactile work of getting their hands dirty. This is an examination of intention, capability, and craft. It's where philosophy meets the blue-collar work ethic and where I find real value. The 2023 Black Duck Revival Turkey Tour is brought to you by Rome Adventure Company, makers of high-quality and rugged outdoor gear to get you where you want to be on all your vehicle-based adventures. I've got the Black Duck Revival van outfitted with the Vagabond XL tent that sleeps 3 to 4 people. It's got a 3-inch high density foam mattress, very comfortable, and an anti-condensation pad to keep you warm and dry. It takes just 5 minutes to set up and another 5 to put back in the morning, and you're on your way to wherever the road might take you. Please check out Rome Adventure Company at romeadventureco.com. Get on the road and make the most of it. The Black Duck Revival Podcast is sponsored by our friends over at Hunters of Color. Hunters of Color is a 501c3 nonprofit. They're the only nationwide hunting nonprofit led by BIPOC for BIPOC. They're working on increasing Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of color participation in hunting for the sake of conservation, food sovereignty, and to preserve our ancestral traditions. They do that by focusing on their 3 pillars, which is mentorship, conservation, and education. Actually, right now, I'm in California chasing turkeys with my good friend and co-founder of Hunters of Color, Jimmy Flatt. Last night when we were drinking some beers, Jimmy told me that last year Hunters of Color was able to get 1,000 new folks out into the field to learn about hunting, conservation, and what this is all about and why it's so important to all of us. So if you want to get involved with Hunters of Color, if you want to support that good work that they're doing, check them out at their website. It's huntersofcolor.org or on all social media platforms. Hunters of Color. Now to the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. This week I'm so excited because this is an interview I've been wanting to do for like 2 years. The first time I met this guy is Jesse Griffiths, down Texas way, New School of Traditional Cookery. You might have seen his books, A Field, The Hog Book. You might have seen him on multiple episodes of Meat Eater, or you might have dined at his fantastic restaurant, Die Dewey, there in Austin, Texas. Jesse is not just one of my favorite people in this kind of hunting space that I find myself in nowadays, but he's just one of my favorite people in general. The first time I got to hang out with him was up at the lodge there in Brinkley, and me and Jesse and a buddy of his, Mark, spent a few days on the bayous there that I love so much, chasing catfish. And the fact that Jesse, who has access to phenomenal hunting properties, phenomenal places to fish, wanted to spend his time driving 10 hours up to the Arkansas Delta and chasing catfish there with me. I think it speaks to the character of the guy. He's looking for these experiences that I so much identify with. I love the way he looks at life. I love the way he approaches food and allowing it to be what it is. The way he puts food together it's like alchemy, right? Like, it seems simple. It is simple. It's also really well thought out, sometimes kind of complicated as far as the backstory behind it. But usually what's really making it fantastic is quality ingredients and really great execution. And I think Jesse does that through every facet of his life, as a parent, as a restaurateur, as a boss, as a teacher, as a mentor, as an inspiration. So please enjoy this conversation with my friend, Jesse Griffiths. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. This time from southeastern Texas, not far from Corpus Christi.
I'd say right between Corpus and San Antonio.
Cool. That's all y'all need to know. I guess it doesn't really matter in Texas because it's all private. So it's not like I'm like, I don't even want people to know where I'm hunting at. Yeah. But so I am wrapping up here in the next hour or so. We'll all be heading back out after 4 or 5 days of turkey hunting down here with Jesse Griffiths, restaurateur, chef, cookbook author. I would argue this is going to be heavy to start with, man, but one of modern hunting's great philosophers is how I'm doing you.
Oh my!
Yeah, man.
Bombastic.
And it's not even it's in the way you consider stuff. It's not a bunch of like on your sleeve type stuff, or maybe it is really on your sleeve because it's just like in the residue of how you conduct yourself. But truth be told, I'm often disappointed when I meet people that I've, seen on the interwebs, and in their approach to hunting. And I haven't really met like any dirtbags, but just it's not quite the way I would want them to see it. But like the way you see stuff is better than I imagined, man. Like it's serious, but it's unpretentious, and it's fuck, man. Best, I told you yesterday, man. Best food I've had in hunt camp ever.
That's good to hear. That's very kind. I mean, also you're here on invitation for many of the same reasons. I guess that would be a mutual admiration. After went up there and did that limb lining trip through the swamps for catfish, and just realized your acumen and just how good you are at being outdoors. You want to surround yourself with people like that, because I think that it's just important to learn, and you can learn from everyone, especially because I feel like we're probably around similar states in our phases in our turkey hunting education. Sure. I look at it as like an education from like kindergarten through a PhD.
Where do you feel you're at?
I'm in first grade.
First grade? Yeah, so you can like write your name.
Yeah.
You can go pee by yourself.
Yeah.
There's still going to be accidents. You got to have a fresh pair of pants at school.
Yeah. I'm about right there. Proudly right there.
Yeah.
Worked hard to get there. And so I feel like, I didn't mean to pigeonhole you in first grade of turkey school as well.
Definitely there. I told you, man, that bird I killed yesterday and that would be my 9th turkey. And it's like the first bird that I all by myself set up, called in. They boogered at 20 yards and I called them back and killed them. Like that was, maybe second semester, first grade.
Yeah.
Man, these turkeys are, I don't want to get too lost into the turkey thing actually, man. But I want to jump real quick on like who is here. Because what makes hunt camp good is the people. Like that's what is the differentiator. All the other stuff, right? Like we had like a nice place to stay and, a ranch to ourselves, but you could be in a bed buggy motel, right? And if you're with really awesome people and you're having fun and you have got enough of a balance of like having some poignant conversations at times and, still just being people and not try to ruminate too much on everything and like impress folks with like how thoughtful you are. Dude, and so it's been you, me, Ben O'Brien, and Chef Jean-Paul Bourgeois. Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the right pronunciation?
Jean-Paul Bourgeois.
Yeah, dude. And which was my first time getting to hunt with that dude, and he is awesome. And Jody Horton, man, who isn't long, just like hanging out and taking some pictures and stuff. And he's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
You know what you're really good at? You're really good at attracting really good people.
I've always said that, and it's like that's a compliment that I will take and I will expand on. And I feel like in the restaurant setting too, I think that my greatest talent is finding people, like great people, and then that really helps you execute a vision that one person couldn't possibly do, and then also letting other people contribute. I think it's so important. Like everybody that was here was a total contributor in a way, and I mean, in one way or the other, whether it was hunting or cooking or just talking conceptually about food. And so,
Sure.
Absolutely, it was a really stacked house. Like it was good. Very
and you
good.
mentioned that the other day when we were talking about, just like ways to start our day. And like last night, and you mentioned a word which I think is super important, what you're talking about. And I don't think it's anything I really have elaborated on much in this podcast, but the idea of leadership, right? It really put it together for me too, that, that's really what you've, developed yourself into, right? As a leader. And you're talking about like that balance of leadership. And like the more I've known you, the more I've been around you, like you're incredibly, like you just at first glance, like a very nice dude, right? You're like a big burly dude, but you have like a really soft measured voice, right? Which like that combination like is ingratiating to people and stuff. But you have like a really blue collar kind of work ethic and approach to food. And I really do get the sense that like you have expectations of the people that work for you. Like you're obviously a very driven person, but I think you would get rid of somebody if they were like, really fucking up. But like the folks that come in and like they work, and I don't mean just like physically they work, but like it works within the system. Like they're working in a place of where their aptitude is like respected and acknowledged and appreciated and compensated for, right?
I couldn't say that better. And I think that, I didn't always know that. I mean, this is in the context of the restaurant and also the hunting classes we do. It's just bringing in good people and letting them be great, and then telling them when they're great and just trying to really give them a platform and boost them up. Also know that they're not always going to be working for you. And that's kind of, that should be your goal, is that, as much as they might be great, you kind of want them to go on one day and do greater things. And then you hope that one day they say, I did great things because I worked at this place, and, and you can be really proud of that. And so I think, but surrounding yourself by people that know anything, it's such a stimulating thing, whether you're in a hunting camp or you're running a restaurant or anything like that. I think it's very important to let yourself be open to not only open, but excited by the idea that you don't know everything, and there's so much to learn and so many perspectives, and allow people to teach you as well. I've always say, like at the restaurant in particular, it's a two-way street of, it's our role to teach people skills, whatever, if it's management or breaking down a hog or cooking over a fire or making kimchi or biscuits or whatever it is. You provide them with the skills, and it's their job to work really hard, and if those two things get out of balance, then that's where you have issues, and that's when you address those issues immediately. And it seems to work pretty well. And it seems to also weed out people that aren't willing to do that interaction. And I think that, that applies to a lot of things. And like, we're both going to be hunting turkeys a lot this year. And I think that the parallel, is pretty obvious to me there, in that we both have a lot to learn about hunting turkeys. Sure. And so the more people that we surround ourselves with that are hunting turkeys, be it, even somebody that has hunted turkeys way less than us, will teach us things. Yeah. Because then it's like you remember what it's like to learn. And I think it's really important to be, sometimes when you're a teacher, it's best when you're like, hey, I don't know all these things, and so like, and it puts people at a more at peace with like listening to what you have to say, because you're kind of learning together. And so, I'm really excited about this season in that I get to hunt with a bunch of people that are either fanatical turkey hunters or chefs or both. Yeah.
And folks that are better than you, right? Yeah. I've been hunting a bunch with Ben the last couple of days. Dude, I felt bad last night because I was like, man, you go over here and I'll go over here. And he's like, am I that bad to hunt with? You don't want to hunt with me in the morning? And I was like, oh, dude, I thought you didn't want to hunt with me. I'll come rock with you, dog. Because, man, he's really good, and he's done it a lot in a lot of different places. And I've definitely Man, so I would say I've learned a ton from him. I would say I've learned a ton from Jimmy Flatt over there in Oregon. And the quality that both of them have, like in spades more than me, is they're more patient than I am.
100%. That's Ben. Ben is like super hardcore about going out and sitting.
Yeah, he's
still
hardcore about
all
waiting.
day.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, now he'll move.
Yeah,
it's not boring, but like, dude, I'm like every 15 minutes, I'm like, maybe we should get after that. Get closer.
I think that's the overarching conundrum of turkey hunting right there is I mean, you could sit still and it's comfortable in a lot of ways. Mm. And then, you know, I think I told you this is like my least favorite part of turkey hunting is standing up.
Yeah,
it terrifies me.
Dude, when I was crawling up on those birds today, that's what I was like psyching myself up to stand up, even though I had that truck in between us.
I mean, because how many times have you stood up and you just see that?
Yeah, it's pop off.
I mean, I think there's so many allegories in these stories, and you know, like circling that back around, you know, like Ben and his approach and his leadership, and because he's definitely the most experienced here. He's very sage about turkey hunting, and he knows so much and from tactics to biology and other things like that. He brings a lot to the table, but overall, you know, I think it's worth pointing out, and this is not to his detriment, that he is, of the four of us hunting, the only one that hasn't killed a bird. He's still out there. He's going to be perfectly happy not killing a bird if he doesn't get one this morning.
Well, but he also like Jean-Paul killed a bird the first 30 minutes of us hunting because like Ben got him on that bird and called that bird in and fired that bird up, right? Sure. And then the last 2 days, me and him have been hunting together. Yeah. Like kind of with the understanding that I was because it was my birthday a couple days ago, so we were trying to kill a bird on my birthday. Ended up getting it done the next day. But yeah, I mean, he sacrificed a couple opportunities to kill a bird. Man, I feel like he'll end up all right by the end of turkey season.
Well, yeah, we're hunting together. I think Ben and I have something like 16 or 20 days of turkey hunting together, which might propel me into second grade.
Yeah, maybe, man.
I mean, just through osmosis.
Dude, I think you can. Dude, I actually think you can get up to above average. Like Ben's always talking about the aggregate, just because I think he worked in marketing for so long. But, you know, I would call like the mean or the average, right? Like, I think you're gonna quickly become, you know, like better than the average turkey hunter, right? Which gets you up, right? So, I mean, I think you could get to GED level fairly quickly, you know, because you're also, I mean, think about how much time, how much different terrain you're gonna hunt turkeys on, dude. You're gonna hunt turkeys as much this year as much as a lot of people will have in their life. Mm-hmm. So you get that experience, right?
And it's all about experience.
Yeah, I think 5 years of really hunting hard and trying to figure it out and surrounding yourself with the right people, man, you can get you can get to be like really proficient.
How did you get into turkey hunting?
Man, I had been over the years and just like never really even heard a gobble. You know, I had never struck a bird, right? And in Arkansas, they're few and far between. So I had, you know, gone turkey hunting maybe half a dozen times. And it just seemed I didn't get it, right? But then this, like, it just all came together this one year where Jimmy had invited me out to Oregon to hunt turkeys. And then Sitka invited me out to Kansas. And so I did this deal where I drove to Kansas and hunted, and then I drove from there to Denver and flew into Oregon and spent like 5 days in Oregon. And like I missed a turkey in Kansas, killed 2 turkeys in Oregon, and was just like, like, you know, I heard enough gobbles, I understood what was going on, or just I saw a little bit, and I heard those gobbles, and I was, man, it was wild. After that second turkey, I told Jimmy, man, like, I thought about those turkeys all through the spring and the summer and like all through duck season. And I was like, man, I got this van. I'm going to put a bed in the back of this van and And then I ended up last year in California and Oregon, and me and Jimmy killed, I think we killed like 9 turkeys in like 10 days.
Wow.
Like, it was gnarly, dude. And look, hunting on like just like wildly cool places. They've got a ton of turkeys out west. I don't think that's a secret. I mean, there's places out west where there's just a ton of turkeys, where there's, you can see flocks of 80 in the spring. Mm-hmm. So there's just lots of access and lots of opportunity, and there's not a ton of people hunting in the Willamette River Valley for turkeys, And dude, I think the first time I like had my hands on a dead one too, and I think the head intrigues me so much. Like, it's so big and it's so different than a duck. Like, a duck is so dainty. Like, you can get all the way down to a little teal, like a small first, or a bird of the year hen teal. I mean, this is essentially a dove, right? And then you get to this turkey, and it's like, I don't know if you could break its skull with one whack from a ball peen hammer. Like, this thing is built like a tank and so beautiful. And, like the combination of the weird waddle and the iridescence of the feathers and that. I mean, dude, everything I could talk about, seeing the light catch their tail feathers, dude, I'll tell you what's going to be dope, man. Are you going to get into Miriam's at all this year?
No, because we're going to be in Eastern Oregon, and so there might be some hybrids but mostly Rios.
Dude, I killed and this has got to be some sort of hybrid, man, but I showed it to a turkey biologist. He's like, I'd call that a Miriam. It looked like a Miriam. But I remember when that bird came in, and he was with other toms, but he was fanned out, and the sunlight on the tips of those feathers, man, they're white. They're like real different than like the Rio tips. I mean, it was like looking at the burning bush or something, dude. It was, I think they exist we've talked a little bit about, like, gotten a little too, hippie maybe, but like spiritual planes or planes of existence. And even how that, we were talking a little bit about religion and stuff, but also just, how the way a turkey sees the world is very different. Like, I think you could fairly describe that as they exist on a slightly different, plane or wavelength, right? Mm-hmm. And like a turkey like it's a bird. It can fly, but by many metrics, it shouldn't be able to, right? It shouldn't be able to move as fast as it can, right? Like when we killed that bird yesterday, Jean-Paul was actually laying on the ground on his side so that I had access to swing where the way this bird came in, and those 2 toms came in and they were drumming, they're thump. And he's like, man, I could hear it in the ground. It was vibrating the ground, it's like, they're kind of like elephants or something, man. I don't know, dude. And they're making that deep, deep sound that you have to be up in their world for it even register. Like, you would never hear that if you weren't just right in on top of them, right? Mm-hmm. That spitting, and I mean, you can tell I'm just going like, it's, I just don't understand them too, which is cool, right? Like, you don't want to figure something all the way out. Mm-hmm. And I just think they're kind of like a platypus, man. Like a platypus is this combination of like all these things that seems like it shouldn't work, and it works. Like, it lays eggs and has a poison spur and a duck bill, and yeah.
I mean, they're mystical.
Yeah.
And
what a succinct way to say it.
I'm also fascinated by them. I'm fascinated by their size and their beauty and the way they function in the woods, and also motivated by how delicious they are. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's like, and not just like, damn, these things are tasty, but it's like, to me, and I'm perpetually avoiding being typecast as the hog guy. Yeah. I do like to eat feral hog, but I also like a more diverse diet. And turkeys to me represent this beautiful source of meat that the whole family really enjoys.
Everybody's about it.
It's approachable, but it's also distinct. It's like it's wild game, but it's very easy. And I love them for that reason too. I mean, I see those big birds. And I mean, I'm thinking food among other things, but just and we were trying to define it the other day. It's like, it's a bunch of different factors that kind of come together, and time of year. It's a beautiful time of year to be in the woods. And it's kind of the only thing going this time, unless you're in a place that has bear hunting in the spring. Crappie fishing. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm torn about that. Like there's an overlap of seasons for me, of like passions, and one being crappie fishing and white bass fishing, and then turkey hunting. Can't do them all at the same time.
Yeah, you can. I've thought about that, dude. The places you're going, you're only going to Georgia. Georgia and Texas would be the southern places, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, I mean, so next year I'm going to go across the southeast and work my way up the East Coast, dude. And I'm going to have a canoe on top and a fishing pole. And, dude, you absolutely – I mean, there'd be so many places. If you killed a turkey early, you could go catch a mess of brim, or you catch some crappies on a jig or something, dude. Yeah. And, like, surf and turf that night. Like, that'd be amazing.
Cast and blast. It is – there's a lot – not hunting wise, there's a lot going on in the woods right now. There's also a lot of foraged things, in Texas.
Dude, I'm looking at morel tattoos on your arm. I love you, dude. Also, the tattoos, man. Like you said, when we met each other, you were like, "Man, you're the only other person I've ever met that has a sunfish on your arm, like a brim sunfish, right?" Yeah, you got good ones: acorns, feathers, mushrooms. What do you got?
Crappie,
shell cracker over there?
White bass. That's a red breast sunfish. That's a native Texas sunfish. Okay. Really similar to a bluegill.
Yeah.
But they grow a little bigger, and they live in the rivers down here. And I've always loved them.
A white bass, man. That's I'll use a word that you used last time I was here hunting, man. That's esoteric. Yeah. A white bass tattoo, man. There can't be too many folks with it.
Yeah, your buddy Drew gave me that one. And I think he said it's his first white bass at the time.
See, and that's the thing, man.
And he tattoos fish on people.
And he knew you were a real one just because you wanted a white bass. I mean, everybody and their mama's got these trout tattoos, and I'm not hating on them, but like I have not been pulled in by the mystique of trout.
Me neither.
I'm not mad at them, and it's something that me and Marianne like to go, and Marianne really likes running like a spin cast rod with a marabou jig on it and catching, like, casting. She really likes sight casting.
Yeah.
I really like setting lines, but we go, when it gets hot, man, it is fun to go when it's like 90-something degrees in July in Arkansas, and you go up north to the Red River, it's like dam controlled. So the water is always 45 degrees, which is why they got just full of trout and stuff. But, man, you get down on the river, dude, and like it'll be a 30-degree temperature difference next to it.
Yeah.
So summertime's great time to go out there and if you don't not messed up about being a purist and you'll use corn or power bait, man, like kids can wear out. Yeah. Catch a lot.
Definitely not a purist. I mean, I do like to eat trout.
Yeah, but I mean they're not. I'd way rather have a catfish or a crappie or a buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You do much with buffalo fish?
A little. We catch them in cast nets down here every once in a while by accident. We catch a lot of gaspergoo, freshwater drum.
Yeah.
We get a ton of those here. And, I appreciate those too. We'll catch those on minnows and jigs as well while we're fishing for crappie. But, yeah, I mean, I like all the fish. I think they're pretty cool, like gar, catfish.
Gar are great, man.
Gar are great.
Bouillets, man. Yeah, I was talking to someone about this. I didn't know until the last couple of years that people thought derisively of catfish. I thought everybody liked eating catfish.
Yeah.
I didn't know people were like, "Oh, I would never." I think they're great, dude. I mean, I'll tell you when they're really good, man. When you catch them and no one chases them when it's cold, man. But when it's cold and their metabolism is slowed down and you catch them, man, they taste so clean.
Yeah.
Like in the heat of the summer, like in real warm water, they can get a little funky, man. But when they're nice and cold, man, like the flesh is real firm. It's great eating.
Most of the catfishing that I do is on this ranch. This lake that we're on is a catfish factory.
Are you setting lines for them?
we weighed trot lines out. So it's one of my favorite things to do is we'll take like the bloodshot part of a hog or a deer that's, essentially going into the gut pile.
And this is when you're doing a class at the New School of Traditional Cooking.
Right.
Right.
And we'll just cut the bloodshot off of it, or if we're down here just having fun. And we'll dice that up in little 1-inch cubes, and then we'll add salt and Steen's syrup or molasses, whatever we got. Something
really?
Sweet. Yeah. So we add salt to firm that up, and that makes excellent trot line bait. But I just love it too because it's recycled.
Yeah.
We took something that we couldn't use off of an animal that we'd taken for food, and then we can convert that into catfish.
Yeah.
And we weighed trot lines out, which is just really easy. There's no, to put in a boat. You just throw on some waders, and we just walk out there. And the colder and nastier it gets, the better it is down here. Like me and another guide were setting a trot line last season, and it was sleeting on us down here. And then the next time we went back to it, I think we had something like 12 or 15 fish on the line. Yeah. We're running, I think, a 50 hook line, and I mean, just loaded. And they're good size, perfectly sized blue cats, that 3-pound fish that you want. That's either a good fillet or a really nice big whole fish for frying or roasting or whatever. And we bleed them. So we'll pull them out and immediately bleed them, stick them in the brain and then the gills, and then cut them around the tail, and then put them in an ice slurry. And it is the finest eating. It's so good. And I don't really comprehend why people don't like catfish. And we get flatheads every once in a while. And
that's like a catfish and a lobster had a baby, man. Yeah, they're great.
The belly meat off that, and if it's been appropriately bled and then iced, and then our camp chef Jeremy Baker.
Hey, hold on one second. The whiskers getting you.
A little beard interference. Jeremy is he's just one of the best cooks I've ever known. He's just intuitive, and he makes this masa battered catfish, and it's dry masa. No, I'm sorry, not dry masa, fresh masa and beer, and chilies, and he makes this batter, and it's just super crispy, and he'll fry those flathead bellies in that, and it's otherworldly. It's so good. No sauce. Like, I mean, you don't need anything.
Really?
You just this is the kind of thing that you're just going to eat like that, and it's phenomenally good. But yeah, and underappreciated too, But again, it's just like one of those pursuits that at the end of it, I mean, it's that food for me. It's just like get excited.
Do you really feel like that with hunting and fishing that the meal is the ultimate driver for you?
I feel like I don't want to distill it down to that statement, but I function on a freezer model, and I literally mean how my freezer looks and what's in it as to what I want to do next. So for that reason, Ben and I on the way down here, we're talking, and he's just like, he's also fired up about elk, and I told him, and I was like, I don't ever want to shoot an elk, and he was. He wasn't like taken aback or didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I was like, well, let me clarify. It's like, I would love to go on an elk hunt. I would love to go with somebody else, but I don't want to shoot. I don't want to pull the trigger on an elk because it's too big. Because then it doesn't allow me. An elk is probably like 3 hill country whitetails worth, or maybe 4. And so I want to go on.
Depends, man.
I want to go on 4 deer hunts.
Yeah, you want the experience
instead of one big elk hunt, and just kind of do it all at once. And I also like to have a good amount of like diverse meats in the freezer, and fish or and whatever. Like I want to have some hog and some deer and some turkey and some saltwater fish and some freshwater fish, and whatever else comes along, some doves and things like that. And I know how we eat as as a family unit. And so it's just really important for me to manage my hunting around that. And I'll give you a really good example is that for a couple years, I didn't hunt ducks because I wasn't doing my job of preparing the ducks where everybody was enjoying them. Mm-hmm. And, there's some other factors like in Central Texas, our ducks are not, they're mostly farm pond ducks. We're not shooting mallards. There's no rice. There's no cornfields. There's nothing like that. So you're just shooting these birds that are pretty average. We get a lot of ringnecks, some shoveler, things like that. And it's not always easy to make those delicious in my perspective, let alone the perspective of a 12-year-old.
How are you making them that you didn't think was doing right?
Searing breasts, roasting legs, braising, things like that. I just wasn't getting it. And then I started to really miss duck hunting. Mm-hmm. And so what I decided I needed to do was simultaneously, if I was going to get back into duck hunting, I had to figure out how to make them good for everyone.
Yeah.
Like what am I going to do? And so I just kind of just started delving into it. I was reading books, and every once in a while I'd come across a recipe and I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to try this with ducks. And the real revelation was Evan Funk. I don't know if his name is Funk or Funky. It's Funke. He's a very famous pasta chef. I believe he's in LA. He wrote this fantastic book about making pasta and all these different pasta sauce recipes. And he has this method for making ragu. And I looked at it one day and I was like, that could really apply to all these different game meats, where you would really extract this beautiful flavor out of this certain animal, but also make it hyper palatable and familiar. Mm-hmm. It's like, then you just take pasta and a little pat of butter and some Parmesan, and I bet I could pull this one off. And I started doing that with ducks, and it was a real winner. And I was even incorporating the livers, hearts, and gizzards into this, and to really getting full utilization out of it and serving it to everybody. And everybody was digging it. And also making confit, the half duck, and then grilling that and serving it with something nice, sweet and sour on it. Maybe a side of fries and a salad, which is just my go-to. Fries and a salad and some kind of beautiful little protein. And it started to work. And then I felt justified in hunting ducks more. But then I also knew there was a limit. It's like, we're enjoying this, but I probably can get away with killing 15 ducks this year, and that's probably about how many.
If you use the whole bird, man, that's
a
quite
lot.
A bit. Yeah,
it's quite a bit. And my daughter killed an aoudad, a wild sheep, and an axis deer, which is the most delicious thing walking, I think, and a pig. I only shot a deer and a pig this year, compared to a 12-year-old who shot the deer, a pig, and a sheep.
So but all that meat's going into the same freezer.
Same freezer. But so our freezer is really looking really good right now, and I manage it all by that too. I mean, and then to come full circle, it's like, after a couple of years of data, you can look at that freezer and remember what everybody ate. What's the first thing out? Yeah. What's the first thing out? And I'll tell you what the first thing out of my freezer is turkey. The turkey gets hit hard. It's like, hey, what do you guys want to eat tonight? Or I'm thawing something tomorrow. The answer is, it's going to be turkey, and it's like, it's something
leaning towards breast meat. Would you say?
I'd say leaning towards breast meat, because there's the pounded out cutlet or fried turkey. My birthday meal is going to be fried turkey breast and hopefully dewberry cobbler.
Oh shit.
That's it for me. I don't want to go get a steak and a martini. I want that. That's for me the best, and that's shared in my household as being
When's your birthday?
May 15th.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, dude, look, I would never. I respect your culinary talent so much. I would never think to give you recommendations. Be like, try my recipe. But because you said dewberry, food, dude, and I've really been crummy about posting recipes and stuff. But on the website, man, I got it's dewberry and balsamic vinegar ice cream. Oh yeah, it's super simple, man. And that balsamic vinegar just essentially makes it buttermilky, right? Yeah. Dude, it's very, very simple. I mean, you already know how to make it because I just told you the ingredients, right? You know how to make it. Put in an ice cream maker. That shit is awesome, dude.
That sounds amazing.
I bet. I mean, maybe it would be overkill with the cobbler, but maybe it would just be like one beautiful woman, two beautiful women.
Yeah, I mean, just a little dash of it for acid and depth and a little more sweetness. I could see how, on a flavor spectrum, those two ingredients inhabit a very similar slice of that, just right there. So I
dewberries are so prolific, easy to find. We go up to the park in my neighborhood and we can just wear them out. Yeah, the kids, it's easy for kids. That's a very accessible, and like it's familiar.
Right.
But like just that, man, like that's a very, or like these mulberries out here in this tree, man.
Yeah.
Like just, we have daughters, and like how you trying to raise your kid, man. Just like them understanding, I can pay attention to the season, know that, the dewberries are going to be out in the park, and take a walk over there and
we
fill my pockets.
I mean, again, it's all management, and I love picking berries a lot. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say as much as crappie fishing or turkey hunting, but it's up there. I have Onyx folders full of waypoints marked on dewberry patches so that when we know it's on, if we want to spend a day, I can just get my map out and we can hit 20, 30 patches.
What is it about?
All over the town.
Is it the act of picking berries?
Yeah, yes. And also I love them. I mean, I think everybody responds to, there's certain foods that you love, it's like, I don't, I won't pick up an orange and eat it, but I love berries for some reason. I don't know if these prejudices or likes are genetic or what they are, but I love blackberries and other berries a lot. And I like cobbler, and I like to make a dewberry jam. Just straight up dewberry jam to have on wheat toast with too much butter.
Yeah.
It's, it's just things
you
that
brought
I
some
like.
mulberry. You brought some mulberry. It might have been called mulberry chutney or something, but it was like jam from a Daidui.
Yeah.
That was quite good. With all the seeds in it too, which I appreciate.
Oh, I like the seeds. Yeah. I like that little bit of texture. But I mean, again, as the seasons roll, it's like, it's all about, for me, it's management. It's like, well, now's the time to go out and get this. And after a while, you kind of distill it down into the things that you love the most, either the activity or the food. And when you can align those two things, and I think it takes years to get there. It's like, now I know that I want to hunt ducks probably 4 times, and then I'll have enough ducks. I need to kill X amount of deer or deer-sized animals. I don't know what the limit on turkeys is, though. Like, I've never hunted turkeys out of state, so I've always been limited to 4 turkeys, and that's not enough. Not to be greedy, but it's not enough. So this year I'm able to expand that, and hopefully I'm going to get way more than 4 turkeys, because we will eat a ton of them. And so now I know that. It's like, maybe I need to apply all my energy and resources into traveling out of state to hunt turkeys, because it's not only the thing I love, but also the food that we love the most. And then I'll come back and it'll be berry season, and then it's hot as hell here in Texas, and I got to figure out what to do, go to the coast and go flounder gigging or whatever, or just sit back. But I love the approach of just trying to fill this freezer or larder or pantry over the year with the things that you love, and then also the things that will actually be consumed, rather than kind of doing it the other way, going out and maybe hunting something and your family doesn't like it, and I hear that a lot too. And I find that kind of sad. It's just like, I wish that everybody could kind of get into a groove of where you could have it all, where you could hunt the things that you love to hunt and eat the things that you love to eat, and then figure that out for yourself. It's gonna be different for everybody.
Man, I so identify with that sentiment. And yeah, dude, I think turkey is super. I mean, I would say the turkey breast went quickest. I was also last year, man, I was pretty loose with, also, man, I was like traveling and staying at people's houses, man. Like, of course they're going to, like I'm going to use a breast up and make a really nice dinner for them, right?
You telling me you give away turkey?
Dude, I gave Hal Herring a breast, a leg, and a thigh last year, man.
You are a very generous person.
I gave, up in Oregon, it was Lydia Parker's. I'd stayed at her house for a week, and it was her mom's birthday. Yeah. So I cooked her family dinner. Yeah, I killed 6 turkeys last year, and I probably gave away 4 breast lobes. And I felt so good doing it until I didn't have them anymore. But, dude, for me, at my house, I would think turkey and bear.
Yeah.
That's what we're going through the quickest. And, I killed that bear this year in September and knew right then I wasn't going to deer hunt. Like, I didn't need to. I like the bear meat so much better than deer meat. And deer meat's good. And, like, to me, deer meat is, like, man, when we killed some does and some pigs down here. And, dude, I did 50-50 ground them both and just mixed it, man. And that's our ground meat, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm gone and Marion's like, you know, it's 6 o'clock. I got to feed these kids. Everything's going crazy, man, like spaghetti or tacos or meatloaf. And that's been phenomenal. But, you know, I want to braise bear roast and just eat them like that. Just like with the sinew and everything turned to gelatin, and I'm just like slurping it up, you know? And I am into grilling turkey breast, but still, I mean, if they told you could cook it one way, man, it's got to be fried, right?
That's phenomenal.
It's so good, man. And yeah, it's a great way to ease people into the idea. Like we were discussing last night, like people just thinking that guy asked Ben O'Brien, he's like, do you have to take, you know, if you kill an elk, do you have to take it to the government for them to check out before you can eat it?
Right.
Like a turkey is so familiar. The wild analog to the domestic, it's close enough in flavor and texture when you're dealing with breast that it's not a big thing for folks to get over.
Yeah, it's not a stretch.
It's a great way to bring them in. And I think, like you were talking about, very much doing stuff that's very accessible. Last year for the kids' birthday, my daughters, like their birthday is like May 14th and June 1st. So as they were little, we'd do their parties together, right? And like, what do you normally do? Like order a bunch of Little Caesars or hot dogs or something, right? And I did still real easy stuff, but I did turkey carnitas and like just had a little taco spread. I did a bunch of, you know, like essentially what a lot of people do is like barbecue sauce and like a thing of grape jelly in a crock pot with like little smokies. You ever had that? Just like cocktail weenies?
I'm sorry, no.
Really? Dude, that's like, I think that's probably just like middle America, just like we're having a potluck. But I just basically did these like something adjacent to that with like spicy tomato sauce with some jam in there to sweeten it up and Bayer meatballs. Yeah. And then I smoked a mountain lion loin and then braised it down and did like little barbecue sliders. And like what happens is it's very familiar, and all those things are really good too to eat. But it's very familiar, like just in the presentation. So everyone's like, "Ooh, I'll try a little mountain lion. Ooh, a little wild turkey."
Yeah.
Right. And at the end, and you see them eating it, and then they realize they enjoy it. And at the end of it, like they feel like they've had this experience, and it's changed their perspective a little bit on just like the pursuit and the reason to go after it. Right. Like it's you're serving mountain lion at your kid's birthday party. Like you're probably not a scumbag hunter. Right? You're probably not like low life and critters.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I think the familiarity, or also like we always put things in, maybe it's the reverse context. It's like maybe fried turkey breast is the best fried poultry and that fried chicken is a poor substitute for it.
Ooh, dude. Dude, you know what is probably the greatest thing ever, man? And I did this in Oregon last year. My buddy's Joseph Haberly, who was on the podcast last year, him and his girlfriend Olivia had a ton of dried morels they'd gotten the year before, dude. And we just did like how you did the other day, man, like that panko crusted cutlet, right? And then just shit tons of butter and saute those morels in that butter, man. And you know, you can throw like some capers or something in there just to give it a little tangy pop. Dude, I mean, you could sit and eat that stuff till you were sick. It's so good. And it's like, it's a dirty old mushroom from the woods, you know, and butter and this turkey breast. And I dare you to find something that tastes better than that.
Yeah. I mean, those are 3 pristine ingredients.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real hard turn real quick, and we'll start wrapping up. But there's 2 things I wanted to cover in this podcast. And I would say this, man, like I've wanted to do a podcast with you since I met you, man. I was like, dude, and I so appreciate you taking the time, but,
absolutely. I'm so glad you came down here,
dude. It was, man, when I was driving down here, man, I was just like thinking about, just like and not to be too sappy, just like so filled with gratitude, man. I was like, dude, I got these like beautiful. So my daughters came and stayed with some family friends down at the beach. I got my kids who I just like love the shit out of, right? And I'm driving down to Texas to hang out with like a stellar group of people at this rad place to chase these birds. Ate phenomenal food, just like well thought out. Just every part of it was so good, and it just surpassed my expectations. But anyway, here's a question I have for you. When we first met, and I was talking to you about like I had just started being able to travel and hunt some different places, and I was like, man, we were talking about hunting other places, and you said I don't want to kill a deer, or maybe it was an elk thing, but you said those aren't my deer, right? You said I want to hunt in Texas, right? And then you're like, man, I'm going to go 4 different places and hunt these turkeys, man.
That's a good point.
So and I'm stoked that you're doing it, but I wonder how did that change, or that willingness or that desire to change your stance on that, and is it just limited to turkeys, or do you think you might kill a whitetail somewhere else?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. I think that it's good to have conversations where you're challenged, and I might not even have a satisfactory answer other than it's something that I want, and I'm not going to justify it even through the earlier narrative of the freezer management, although that's a big part of it. And then what I was saying is that I want more turkey, and I'm limited to 4 in Texas. I think that turkey represents, to me personally, turkey hunting represents to me a culture and a geographic dispersal that's really attractive. The people that hunt turkeys and that are really fanatical about it are very interesting to me. The hunting of the turkeys is really interesting to me, and the fact that you can go to these very disparate places that are going to look so different. I mean, I am going from here, this South Texas scrub of mesquite and oak and weesatch and cat's claw and sage and rocks, to Georgia, where it's going to be cypress and tupelo and oak and longleaf pine.
And to my mind, like heart of American turkey hunting culture.
Exactly.
Georgia for turkeys is like Arkansas for ducks.
Yeah. And then after that, Eastern Oregon, which when people try to describe it to me, I'm kind of like, hey, would you not? I don't even want to hear about it, because I can't even have an expectation of what Eastern Oregon's going to look like, other than nothing like I think it's going to look like. So I don't even want to know until I first enter that valley and be like, whoa, this is not what I expected. Is it mountains? I have no experience up there at all, in that part of the world. So I want it to be like opening a present. And
dude,
then
there's spots, and I know it's that pretty because I saw someone on Instagram post it, and it was just something I'd just driven through by myself. There's stuff that in Eastern Oregon that's some of the most beautiful stuff I've seen on earth. Yeah. Like, and that's not like I'm the most well-traveled person, but God, and dude, there's critters, man. Like you'll get to see, you'll see animals. I don't know, like you'll see animals in like places you expect to see it. There's a lot of shit that looks like a beer can out there,
Huh. I mean, and then the people that I get to hunt with, you know, like I said, it's like it's been set up and it's other chefs, and I'm just trying to delve into turkey. And if this is an education for me, and whether I do it again, I don't know. And then to come back to do I want to kill a whitetail somewhere else? And the answer is probably not. I manage this ranch, and we have a large population of whitetails here that we try to cull and control. And I'm very, very lucky to have opportunities to hunt close to home, and some very beautiful places too. I've thought about maybe pronghorn, but when I think pronghorn, my first inclination would be to shoot one in West Texas. I still feel like that's still a resource that I could lay some tacit claim to.
Is that a thing? Like people are hunting them in West Texas?
There's a few.
Okay.
It's not Wyoming. Now, if I was smart, I would just go to Wyoming, but I still feel funny about it. And I can't honestly tell you the difference between not going to Wyoming and hunting pronghorn, but feeling justified in going to Oregon and Connecticut to hunt turkeys. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just plead guilty to a misdemeanor of hypocrisy here in touring around for turkeys. But I'm super excited. I'm nervous. I'm flying to all these places and doing all these things, and flying with shotguns and dealing with TSA and flights and airports and all these things that are not going to be super fun. Bookending something that if not super fun will be educational. I'm just fascinated by it, and I think that I'm to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sign up for the class. This season is it. I'm gonna sign up for it and try to learn as much as I can in a kind of a condensed timeline for it too. And everything opened up where I was able to do it with other commitments and things like that. So yeah, I'm doing it. Maybe when we talk in mid-May, I will be like, yeah, I booked a moose hunt in Siberia or something. I'll be like something completely off the wall.
Cecil the Lion's next.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe it'll change it, or maybe I'll see these places, likely I'll see these places and hunt with this stellar group of people that I'm about to spend all this time with, and they're going to do the same thing that I'm saying to you is like, when are you coming back? To do this again?
No, dude, there's no way you're not going to want to continue doing it. Okay, last thing I wanted to bring up, man, and it's mostly just so do a little wrap up. This has been great, man. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, dude. It's been absolutely fantastic. Dude, I've told some people this, man, but when you came, it was this weird deal. When you came and you went catfishing, and then it was like in a 2 weeks, 10 days or something. Like I think Newcomb was on Joe Rogan, and then you were there like right after you went catfishing, right? I was like, dude, this is weird, man. Like all these people I know are on the biggest podcast in the world, right? But anyway, man, so you were talking about coming up to Arkansas and catfishing. And you were talking about, Mom, this dude's using Zote soap, and Jamie, look that up, right? But dude, the way that you how do I say this? Like, just real talk, man. When you brought me up on that podcast, I feel like that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me, because the way you went about it, you were like, there's this guy named Jonathan Wilkins in Arkansas, this place called Black Duck Revival. And like, it was very apparent that you understood the power of that platform, and you went out of your way to like give me some access to it, man. And I mean, dude, it's not like I made a bunch of money off of it, but I will say I booked more hunts from your recommendations on Instagram than probably any other single source, because the people that are into you, like, they trust you, and it makes sense that they, like, we just have it makes sense. Like, some of our people would intersect, you know what I mean? But dude, now I did run into a guy at a grocery store that was waiting for me by my van, and he goes, "Is this your van?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've been following you on Instagram since I heard about you on the Joe Rogan show." And he was it was an yerba mate supplier, and he loaded me up with a bunch of yerba mate. But man, yeah, I just wanted to say, dude, I think it's so indicative of just who you are as a person. There was nothing in that for you, and it was just such a magnanimous thing to do, and I just so appreciate it, man. And I so appreciate you as just like a person and a force in this space. And dude, I'm so glad to get to be buddies with you, man. Like, really, you're one of my favorite people, dude.
Well, it's completely mutual, and I want to say that, I mean, the reason I brought it up is, like, I think we were still kind of riding a high from that experience, and that experience is very simple. Is that you take people out in a boat and you run limb lines, and I think if you if you just analyze that statement, you don't really understand the depth of what that experience was like, and like how impressive the whole thing was, your knowledge of the swamp, your boatmanship, which was the first thing that I really noticed, is just like how you maneuvered in the woods. You're a woodsman. And I feel like that I really enjoy experiences like that, and that other people should, if they're interested in it. And there's a lot of people out there that offer experiences that are selling that, but they don't serve it. And you did. And very well. And then the food that you made for us every night was also like, I can't forget it, like how good it was. And how when you go out during the day and you experience this very special place that to some would dismiss it as a swamp that they just need to drive through it to get out, you know. And not only did we get to experience this I mean, utterly gorgeous place full of water moccasins and dappled sunlight and brown water that is so special and like nothing I've ever seen before. But then you come home or come back to the lodge and you have this meal and you talk about the area and the region and the people and their interactions, and that condensed into honestly, probably around a 48-hour experience, something so formative and just interesting to me that it's easy to sell that. And it's easy to, I think that the world would be a better place if more people experience that. And you're definitely not the only person out there that is there and doing something of that quality, but you're one of the only ones. And so it's easy to promote that, because I honestly do feel that people need to experience that. And you're very good at what you do. I didn't know that before I went there, but I knew it real quick once we got there. And so it was, it was easy to do. And I'm honestly very glad that it's paid off in a way, but it's deserving. It's not like throwing out a sponsor's name or something like that you feel like you have to do.
Yeah, there's definitely no, you have not been paid, I assure you.
Well, in a way. And also I think it's, I like what we're doing here as we're trading trips.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like we're trading experiences because we both enjoy these same things. We want to go be outdoors until we have to go indoors, at which point we're going to eat and drink really well.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a good groove to be in. And so I am going to shoot my first mallard with you.
Yeah, dude, I was going to say, man, if you're going to hunt 4 times for ducks, man, please, it didn't work out this year, but come up, dude. O'Brien's got to come now too, man.
Yeah.
Because he's getting to be the bud. But, yeah, man, we'll have some, and I'll tell you what else I think is going to happen. I'm just going to put it on the table. I think you're going to love Turkey Tour. Right. And I think the element you're going to realize that you're missing is what I've figured out, which is as good as a turkey tour, which is watching the topography change. So like the drive from West Texas to middle of California is righteous. And you see that topography change, and it helps the journey feel like a journey. Right. And it's also, I think it's way more comfortable. You can stop, you see something interesting, get tired, pull over the fucking Love's truck stop and take a nap, man, walk around, go stomp around some woods or whatever you want to do. And then also, man, that drive from like East Oregon into Montana, like I'd say the Idaho Panhandle, I've been mesmerized by it since I went through it. And so just finding those places, I think, but so anyway, next turkey tour, man, we got to make it intersect so where you can like ride with me in the van for a few days.
I love that.
Hunt turkeys. Maybe New Mexico.
Well, I wish you the best of luck on your tour, and let's promise to just send pics.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Of dead birds or
good meals,
or just a beautiful hillside.
Yeah. They'll be out there, dude. But anyway, so Jesse, we got to get out of here, but just tell folks how they can get a hold of you, eat your food or eat food that you've you've written the recipes for.
Yeah, I have 2 cookbooks out. The first one was published. We tried to figure that out the other night, a long time ago, something like 12, 13 years ago. A Field was my first cookbook. And then last year we released the Hog book, which is all about cooking and eating feral hog. I own a restaurant on the east side of Austin called Daidue, and it's on Manor Road. Like I said, Austin's east side. Serves up a lot of game, a lot of locally produced foods and vegetables and cheeses and dairies and fishes and things like that. Yeah, that's it.
Sac-A-Lait on Instagram.
That's right. SAC.A.LAIT on the Instagram.
Yeah. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It'll tell you everything you need to know about who Jesse Griffiths is. Seriously, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time. And folks, thanks for listening. Until next time. Thank you so much for listening all the way through to this episode of the Black Duck Revival podcast. If you've listened for any amount of time, then you know that it's produced by me, Jonathan Wilkins, and Brian Sachs. Go to the website. It's blackduckrevival.com. We'll be announcing the hunt school schedule for this coming season here in about, probably when I get back from Turkey Tour, so next month or so. You can also follow me on Instagram. And if you know about Turkey Tour and you know about this month-long trip that I'm on, carousing and bebopping my way across these western United States, then you'll know that the best place to follow and see updates about that would be on my Instagram page, which is just Black Duck Revival. If you love the podcast, if you like the podcast, if you tolerate it, please leave a review, written or 5 stars. If you're feeling it on Apple or Spotify, helps us out tremendously. And hey, speaking of that, I got a really sweet email from a friend in North Carolina. And they took the time to kind of itemize through some of the most impactful podcasts that we've done in the last year or so. And I just want to say, Bill, thank you so much for taking the time not only to listen. I mean, if you've listened to all these podcasts, I'm amazed and very heartened to hear that and very thankful. But also, thank you for spending time with all these people that I get to share with you guys, because I think all of them are awesome. Many of them are my friends. Many of them are people that I look up to. And I'm just so glad that some of you are getting something out of it as well. So, again, thanks for listening. Until next time.